Pika-Pee, Pikachu, Pika.
Aaron, calm down. We don't want you to blow another fuse.
Oh, I've installed a variety of backup systems for this review.
Well, Pokémon is back, and it's not one of those spin-offs like Mystery Dungeon or Pokémon Ranger. This is the next generation in the series. It's a brand new game with a new region and new Pokémon.
Pokémon Black and White on the DS puts you in the shoes of another teenager setting off on his or her epic quest to catch Pokémon, defeat 8 gym leaders, and become the Pokémon champion by defeating the Elite Four.
Oh, this sounds a little bit too familiar.
Well, yes, it does, Darren, but it's also Pokémon tradition. You start off in your hometown where a local professor lets you choose your first Pokémon. Soon, after being taught the basics, you run into Team Plasma, who want to free Pokémon from trainers and the confinements of Pokeballs, and somehow it becomes your job to stop them.
If you've played Pokémon before, then you'll realise that, yeah, it is the same formula all over again. Each battle move in each Pokémon has a certain type or types, and different type moves are strong or weak against different type Pokémon.
It's a deep battle system. Not only does each Pokémon learn different moves, but their stats will also affect how strong an attack is, or whether they attack first or how much damage they'll take. And then you've got Pokémon natures that slightly alter each Pokémon's stats. And if you really want your Pokémon to have the best stats, you'll make sure your Pokémon has good IVs, and you'll EV train them and breed them so that they get good egg moves.
The battle system is a lot of fun. It's so satisfying when you use the right Pokémon with the right attack and take down your opponent. And even when your Pokémon faints, you don't feel like the game's being unfair because you know why you lost.
Let's talk about the new stuff. Yeah, XP is now weighted so that your lower level Pokémon will earn more XP than the higher ones, and also a lot of the attacks have been tweaked.
Also, TMs, which let you teach your Pokémon specific moves, are now reusable.
It's such a lifesaver. I remember not wanting to use my TMs and saving them up for my perfectly bred team, but then I never had that team, so I never used them. What a waste. Pokemon Centers and Pokemarts are now the one building, which is handy. Oh, and there's
156 new Pokemon!
I was just about to say that, Darren. You gotta catch them all.
Gotta catch them all.
Gotta catch them all.
Gotta catch them all.
Gotta catch them.
This game features a much more 3D world as well. Everything from giant skyscrapers to floor cushions were all 3D models. But running around, there's one thing I noticed that wasn't 3D, and that was the people.
Yeah, I just don't get it, Hex. You know, everything else is in 3D, but the people, they're just these 2D sprites. They can only look up, down, left, and right. We've seen great games like Dragon Quest IX and any of the Final Fantasy remakes, which all have great 3D characters in a 3D world, but here, I don't know why they've stuck with 2D characters in a 3D space with set movements, you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean, but you have to admit the game still looks great though, and there's certainly moments that really show off those graphics, like that bridge scene.
But you don't do anything on the bridge. There's no random encounters or any trainer battles. You just walk across it. It's a long way.
Take it you didn't really like the Ferris wheel either then.
No, never get into a Ferris wheel with somebody that you don't know.
Affirmative.
The camera is more dynamic this time round though, not just when you're crossing bridges, but in battles as well. It creates this real sense of distance between the Pokemon.
They have added some great touches to the battle interface though. Status ailments are now visible on the actual Pokemon in battle, and all Pokemon are now properly animated, which makes them feel more alive.
And some of those animations look great, but what's with the debuff animations? It looks like someone just sprinkled snow on them. The Pokédex entries give each Pokemon their own unique personality, if at times a little too interesting.
One thing they've done really well here though is they've made it really easy for Poke noobs. Through interactions with people you meet along the way, the game introduces you to all the gameplay mechanics that Poke fans are already accustomed to.
There are well-placed rest stops on long routes with no Pokemon centers as well. And all the Pokemon that you encounter up until you become the Pokemon champion are brand new. So it felt really fresh to me, Hex.
Yeah, there were so many times that I encountered Pokemon, but I was not sure at all what type it was. So, I had no idea what attack to use. It really is like playing Pokemon for the first time.
But we should talk about the multiplayer because that's where the game really shines. Apart from the standard one-on-one battles and trades, you've now got something called Sea Gear, which lets you battle and trade over the infrared built into the game cartridge, as well as co-op called Entralink, which lets you walk around in your friend's world and complete support missions for them.
The Sea Gear even lets you conduct surveys and video chat with your friends, if you have a DSi, but four-way chat is only available locally and not on Wi-Fi, so I don't know why you'd need video chat with your friends if you're already in the same room. It does not compute.
There's also the gear station in Nimbasa City, which lets you team up with a friend or fight solo through various game modes like 3-on-3 battles where you make your way through 7 rounds and earn battle points, which you can exchange for rare items or TMs. There's so much to do here, especially if you want to battle competitively. I mean, this could literally last you hundreds and hundreds of hours. And then there's the Pokémon musical.
What is this? You dress up your Pokémon with various accessories and then let them compete against friends or AIs, but apart from appealing to the audience twice, you don't really need to do anything.
But dressing up and dancing is great.
Sorry, Darren, but I also found this a bit lame. You can win new accessories by doing well in the musical, but it's like Pokémon contests in Ruby and Sapphire. It just doesn't affect the main game, and it's really not that fun. In fact, as far as the sounds in the game go, I mean, while the music is great, some of the sound effects don't sound like they've changed since the old Game Boy days.
Another thing that hasn't changed is that there's still only one save file. And Darren, you can't just go deleting my save file every time you want to play this game. I put a lot of time and effort into it.
But the Pokemon you chose were noobs, Barger. Everyone knows that Oshawott is the best starter.
Yeah, everyone knows that, Darren, and that's because it's also the easiest starter. That's why I went for a Snivy, because it has a challenge.
Okay, guys, final thoughts, Badge?
Pokemon Black and White is pretty much the same old game with some nice new additions. The visuals haven't been improved that much, so I kind of wish they'd take a few more risks with the game in general, Hex. But, you know, it's that classic saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm giving it 8 out of 10 rubber chickens.
Look, I think Poke fans will go nuts over this game. I mean, this truly is Pokemon at its best, and if you've never played Pokemon before, then this is a great place to start. It's also really difficult to put down, so I'm giving it 9 out of 10 rubber chickens.
Snivy? Really?
In the end, Darren, if you do something more challenging, it's more rewarding.
Everything's a challenge for you, isn't it, Barger?
Darren's a challenge for me.
It's all the big words I use, isn't it? Thought so.